I just want it to be known, I didn't script this. I didn't sit down and like create a cohesive narrative thought. Just like sat down and just thought of all the logical ways this would go. But I've had this argument with myself so many times, that I just had to get my ideas somewhere because people unironically believe that Unohana would lose to Aizen. This might be Old Man Yells at Cloud, but you know, it's way better than the alternative where I just keep struggling with this and I never have closure. So here it is. Some people which will not be named definitely unironically believe that Unohana would beat Aizen. First of all, the very basic concept of power scaling, the idea, the general consensus of what power scaling is if A beats B, but C is stronger than A, then how does B beat C? Like, okay. Aizen. Author statement, by the way. Aizen is afraid of Kenpachi. Now, multiple people have taken this in very different ways. No matter how you look at it, it doesn't make any sense why Aizen would still find Kenpachi a threat unless Kenpachi was stronger than him. Okay. Well, number one, the statement is supposed to be, even if Aizen charges up, double incantation, hard number 90, right? Oh, hard number 99, whatever. I don't care what you pull up. Even if Aizen Bankai's right then and there, uses his non-existent Bankai right then and there, he would not beat Kenpachi. That is just what is stated. Because if Aizen could beat Kenpachi, what the hell is he so afraid of? Okay, they're like, oh, but the Kenpachi's potential. You know, if you watch the series, at least I'm assuming, Kenpachi's potential actually goes kind of crazy. Okay, Aizen grabs Ichigo, right? This like super mega prodigy, this like guy that knows everything and then some, that unlocked a technique that takes 10 years people to master. Bankai, he did it in like 3 days, right? Insane potential Ichigo, and you're telling me right now, reasonably, that Aizen would look at Kenpachi and be like, you know, like, I don't know, man, I just don't want to take the risk. Like, maybe if he awakens to Bankai, like, grace my nutsack, and then it'll hurt for, like, a couple of seconds. Like, I don't know. I'd obviously one-shot him, you know, because I'm so epic and awesome. I don't know why people get this. They, like, get this complex. I don't even know what to call it. I don't think a complex is the wrong word. But they get this, like, idea that Aizen is this super intelligent character, which he is. He's like this super smart character that can plan through anything until it isn't convenient to them. Like, why do they do that? Okay, Aizen completely predicted every action that Soul Society would take for like an entire war. He outplayed them in every single conceivable way, right? Every single guy, right? They just got completely destroyed. And you're telling me that Aizen is afraid of Kenpachi's potential? My brother in Christ, if you're stronger than the guy, just like cut him up and don't let him adapt. Like, you know what Yuhaba did? You know what Yuhaba just like went in and like understanding that Kenpachi is a threat that has innate massive potential. You know what he did? Instead of just letting him go around killing every Storm Raider in existence, he only got to 3, and then Yuhaba himself stepped in. Essentially, if Aizen is afraid of Kenpachi's potential, but he's stronger than Kenpachi, then how? Okay, so in order for that to happen, Aizen would be able to beat Kenpachi, but he wouldn't be able to one-shot him, which means that Kenpachi's just as strong as him. Before Unohana training, before Shikai, before Bankai, and if you absolutely just wank off Aizen to an unbelievable degree with his eye patch off, I guess, because you know if Kenpachi and Aizen got into a fight, the first thing he'd do is take off his eye patch, right? Like that's like I don't know, like 2 + 2 is 4, like water is blue, and like Kenpachi would take off his eye patch the first time he fights. Like that's logic, right? Okay, so then people will start like arguing well, why didn't Unohana just fight Kenpachi? Sorry, my bad. Well, I guess I'll address that. I don't know. I think I need to tell you now. I guess. Unohana is stronger than Kenpachi. I don't know why you would think that. If Aizen is afraid of Kenpachi's potential post training with Unohana, number one, there's no logical way for him to know that information. As smart as he is, I'm so sorry. And second, for him to logically know that information without him just being there, he would have to look at Unohana's strength, understand that Kenpachi goes above that, and say, well, that strength is insane. I don't even know how you would even deal with that. And Kenpachi found that a reasonable threat. So they're at least relative, right? They're at least somewhat comparable. So if Kenpachi is comparable to Bankai Unohana, and Aizen is afraid of Kenpachi, then it would logically follow that Aizen is afraid of Bankai Unohana. So not even that logic makes any sense. What's next? What can we talk about? Oh yeah! People think that since Unohana didn't fight Aizen, that, he obviously has to be stronger than Unohana, because Unohana, it wouldn't make any open quotes narrative sense end quote to not fight Aizen if you're stronger than him. First of all, I asked this in the nicest way possible. I mean this completely sincerely, even though you're just seeing a picture on a screen. I mean this hard in my hand. I don't mean this in a derogatory way. Have you watched Bleach? Have you sat down and watched the series? Because if you have, especially the 1,000-Year Blood War Part 1, you'd understand that Unohana can't fight. She won't be allowed to fight, right? Okay. Just so you understand the concept. Let me, in one verse, I'll give it to you straight. Yamamoto would rather die than have Unohana fight. Period. That's it. I don't need to tell you anything more. Out of kindness, I'll keep going, but that's it. I don't need to explain anything else. Number one, Unohana is a massive, a very good healer. I don't think people understand how good a healer is, how good Unohana healer is compared to the entirety of Bleach. Not just the third squad or the squad 0. She is the top healer in all of Bleach. Yamamoto, Kido Master. Or actually, let's start with the Lieutenant. Lieutenant Hisane, I'm pretty sure is her name. Shout out to Hisane. Lieutenant of the 4th Squad. She is the second in command to all the healers in Soul Society. She's the second best healer. All of Hisane's spiritual pressure, she could charge up an attack for 5 minutes. A 10-episode Dragon Ball attack. Okay? She could do that. Right now. Start charging up her spiritual pressure. And the healing that she could do with that spiritual pressure, Unohana would raise one pinky finger in a singular atom from her body, could provide spiritual pressure in her base with Kenpachi's eye patch on, and it would still heal better than anything she could ever muster up, right? I don't know if you know this, I'm exaggerating, but the point is that Unohana just is so massively above Aizen. Sees that who's it called? Orihime? Sees that Orihime has a special ability to heal, and she finds it impressive, right? Sorry, I'm sorry for assuming genders. He thinks that Orihime's healing abilities are pretty impressive. Shinji then also states that he would rather have Unohana healing than Orihime. Obviously, this is for very different reasons. It's because she can do better healing in groups, and Unohana is stated to heal spiritual pressure as well as physical healing. But honestly, that only tells me that she's just a better healer. But we'll completely ignore that. I don't really need that to make my point. First episode, the 1,000-Year Blood War. Chojiro dies, right? Yamamoto, Yoshiro gets slapped, sent over to the head captain. I'm going to repeat myself. He got sent over to the head captain of the squad, right? The guy of all time, the strongest that they have. he got Shojiro in his arms, and he had like a hole in his chest, right? Like a couple of blood marks at most. He could still talk. The guy could still talk. He was still alive, right? Okay. Then he comes in to his office. Yamamoto completely avoids him. He's like, he's dead. Nothing I can do. He is beyond my healing. He's done. I wish you the best. And he dies. Yamamoto couldn't do anything. Unohana herself gets cut in like half. Right? She gets like a lacer. Like she gets operated by Kenpachi by like getting her entire, like, how would you even call that? Like her body has like a hole where it should be. It's honestly falling off her body at this point, right? It's just falling into herself, and she like puts her hand over it, and she's like, let me just patch this up and a good night kiss, mwah. And then she just heals it back up like in an instant, and then she just bankais, and then she goes back to fighting like it was nothing, like it was actually nothing. And you can tell that she's a better healer because she kills Kenpachi thousands, 1,000 times. Stated to be one of the strongest guys in the 13 court guard squads. He's at least top 5. What are your top 5, Kendrick? And this creature of the night, Unohana, kills him over 1,000 times, and then she starts healing him repeatedly on top of that. This is like a 3, like I guess I'm talking like 5, maybe 10, maybe 5 or 3 minutes on just how good a healer Unohana is, because I want to drive the point home. Why am I talking about how good a healer Unohana is with the resources given to her? Because the Soul Society understands how good a healer she is, right? She's a very important asset to the show. I don't think you need to be a master's in psychology and understanding and story analysis to understand that having the girl that can heal you over 1,000 times from near death might be a pretty important asset. I don't know. So yeah, Unohana is a great healer. So Yamamoto tells her, okay, I'll do the fighting. Leave the fighting to me. I got this. I die out there? Who cares? All you have to do, the only instruction that I give you right now, is to stay in there and sit your pretty butt down and don't do a thing. Sit. Stay. Good girl. And you might think that I'm just pulling this out of thin air. That even though she's a great healer, and that she could honestly, in base, just like absolutely like destroy Aizen, right? Just like logically. And then she wouldn't do that, right? You would think that just because she can do that, she's allowed to fight. No. Stop. There's a risk that Unohana could die. Yamamoto is not taking that. It's only just a little weakness. It is over. It's a wrap. And it's not that he could. It's that he would, essentially. It's you guys, we come to an agreement. It's like, you know how you think that Aizen would kill Yamamoto, but he doesn't because he thinks he's a threat and that it's impossible for him to die, right? That's exactly what's happening to Unohana, except it's not based on just you wanting to wank off your character in actual feats, right? Even the Squad Zero like hero, like I forgot his name. The Squad Zero captain stated, "Oh, are you an idiot? Why didn't you just fight?" And that's when I don't know. Like, it's like the entire, like, man, did you watch Bleach, though? Like, honestly, I mean it. I mean it. This is all satire, okay? This is not, like, with ill intent, but did you watch Bleach, though? But did you watch the series? Because, like, the entire plot point of Unohana coming to terms with herself was to surpass the little, like, anteater that Yamamoto placed in her brain that she couldn't fight, because if she somehow lost, she took the risk, then the entirety of Soul Society would be screwed because she couldn't heal anyone. And that's like what she achieved. That's what, like, Tanjiro, is that his name? Whatever, like the Squad Zero, that's the revelation. And that was like the entire point of the series. That was the entire point of the Kenpachi fight. Realizing that she was wrong and taking her own life to strengthen the future Understanding that there are stronger things than just the healing. Okay, I'm fine. I'm just a little bit heated. I'll admit, I lost a little bit of composure. I'm back. More complete than a six-pack. Gave up more three-pointers than Shaq. Okay, I'm fine. This is just like... this is just like Stark being faster than, what was it, the 8th Espada? I don't know his name. The fastest Espada in the Espadas. The fastest run car in the Espadas. They're like... No, dude, no, what you don't get is that Stark is actually faster than the fastest Espada. You know, it's stated. Here's the proof, right? Here's the proof. There it is. Look at it right now. Here it is. Did you like it? I love it. So anyways, I mentioned why Aizen being afraid of Kenpachi yet being stronger than Unohana doesn't make any sense, right? This honestly turned into a Kenpachi versus Aizen video. By the way, Kenpachi would absolutely obliterate Aizen, no questions asked. Aizen might win. This is like what Byakuya players. This is what Byakuya's power scalers think that what happened when Kenpachi fights Byakuya. It's that Byakuya would beat him with techniques, but Aizen could unironically beat him with techniques. Is the thing. But what you gotta understand is that that Kenpachi is stronger than Aizen. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you think. I don't care how you scale him. Kenpachi is stronger, period. I don't care what you say. But Aizen could probably still win. Granted, the credit you have to give to Aizen is immense. Because for Aizen to find Kenpachi a threat, yet him knowing absolutely zero Kido, zero techniques, zero like strats, like what? It would unironically, you know what would happen? It would literally be Tozen versus Kenpachi again. It would just happen. And then they're like, but excuse me, the Kenpachi title, that's only supposed to be reserved for like the strongest Kenpachi. But if you watch the series, actually, the Kenpachi title should be left to Yamamoto, question mark? And like, what's the Zero Division doing? And it's like, no. It's stating that it's the strongest. You have to make it fit in the narrative, okay? First of all, you can't have more than one title. If you have more titles, like Yamamoto would be head captain, Kido master, Shikai user, Bankai user, Zero squad, captain, lieutenant, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 seat. You can't have more than one title. Unexcluding the squad Zero and the head captain, Kenpachi would be the strongest Soul Reaper. I don't know why this is such like a hard concept to understand. Unless you actually unironically believe that Kenpachi would lose to Byakuya because 1 billion petals is a lot of petals. So, like, I don't know. Maybe if you have like that argument, you can like feel free to contact me. I'll talk to you about it. I'll like see if everything's okay at home, you know? Because like maybe some people are not in like this good space that they should be in right now. I'm not even mad. I'm crying. I'm definitely weeping my eyes out, man. I could not be more sad. There's also a point where, this is honestly a completely different argument in and of itself, but people somehow believe that Unohana would lose to Ichigo. Huh? What are you talking about? They're saying this because, well, when Unohana was like walking back from Wako Mundo with Ichigo, she was like building like this fortress and she was healing her spiritual pressure, right? And then she was like, this guy has more spiritual pressure than that? I thought it was the strength of a captain already, and it's just half? What is this? That doesn't mean that Ichigo's stronger. You can be impressed with someone's spiritual pressure and still be stronger. Are you telling me right now that Bankai Yamamoto would lose to Kenpachi? It was because he was impressed with his potential that he decided to teach him Kendo. Right? So like, because he's impressed, it means that Yamamoto is now stronger than Kenpachi? Like what? Huh? Okay. Alright, whatever you say, man. Second of all, this is a very interesting point, and I will forgive you for not knowing this. Out of all the things, it is most likely that you don't know this, because this actually takes, like, advanced, like, thought. But if you noticed, when Ichigo was fighting Ichigo was surprised that a holified Getsuga Tenshon and Bankai only gave him a nick. Now this is very interesting because this is an actual like feat where like being impressed by someone's power actually makes them like stronger, right? Like that. This is when it makes sense. Because if Ichigo was unsurprised, because Ichigo understands his limits, right? He understands, okay, half my Hikasho, I forgot what the name was, half my Hikasho got like cut off, so I'm like at about half power, right? So like maybe my attacks aren't as good as they would be. So if that were the case, then he'd think, damn, if I wasn't at half power, then I'd be able to beat him. But no, he says, I hit him with all that strength and he still barely got a nick? Like, come on, dude. And that proves that the difference in level between, like, weakened Ichigo and first, let me remind you, first Resurrection Yami wasn't that large. It was not that large. Like, Yami would probably still beat Ichigo with his first resurrection, right? I don't know if that's a controversial take. I don't know, people think that Ichigo is like this Kafubo prodigy that can destroy anyone. Maybe it's because of the Unohana statement that says that he's stronger than most captains. What you gotta remember is that captain is a very broad statement, okay? If you remember back in Soul Society, Kenpachi grabbed Tosin and then he like cut him up with his cut him up. He like tanked hits with him. He like played patty cake and then he just like cut him up in like one shot. And even after all the damage he took, he was just like, come on, I'll give you a free shot. With his eye patch on, by the way. And then Aizen to another captain, Kamamura, I think it was his name, he like grabs this he's like unenchanted Hado number 90 and he like one-shots him. And it's like, are you telling me that just because you're stronger than Toshiro that now you're like this massive like war potential? Like what? Like don't get me wrong, I know where they're coming from. But you gotta understand that Captain is a very, extremely broad scale for everything. Because the difference between Soifon and Yamamoto is night and day. Night and day. Uncontested, zero difficulty. Yamamoto could sit there in his base and Soifon could use her Bankai and it barely make him flinch. It would be easy wipe. Period. I don't care how you scale it. There's no way. So if Ichigo we'll just highball him and say that that Ichigo beats Yami, but he's a challenge. That Ichigo like beats Yami. And like he's stronger than first resurrection Yami. Number one, Kenpachi. I'm gonna keep it a $150. I know that there's a novel where Kenpachi fights Yami and like the fight is shown and he apparently takes off his eye patch. I don't know how valid that is because I haven't watched the novel myself. However, let's just say that he took his eye patch off and used Kendo. Newsflash, Unohana to like one shot that same Kenpachi. So I don't know what you want me to say other than L plus ratio. Because like, come on, there's like no way. Kenpachi is stronger than Aizen. It's stronger than Ichigo. Just because Unohana was impressed does not mean that Unohana wouldn't in base right then and there destroy Ichigo. I don't know why that's like a point of contention. So yeah, I hope this video educated you. I hope you understand. If you found this informative, if you have any questions, obviously, if you think there's something I missed or if there's something that I got wrong that you think that, like could be corrected, please comment. I would really like to see your opinion on the matter after seeing like this. If you think I'm wrong, feel free. He did it because he was stronger than him. Why did Aizen do that? No, please. Why didn't Aizen do that if he could? I'm waiting. Because obviously, yes. No. I get it now. Because he wants to get the Hogyoku, so it would be an easier win for him. Okay, now I'm starting to think like an Aizen fan.